And look, this is a high-stakes main event here. Who will pick their spot in that men's Iron Survivor Challenge match come Saturday at Deadline? Obviously, one side of the ring, let's call it what it is. It's everyone for themselves. They have to win, but they want to win tonight as a team to defeat Darkstate. I mean, it's got to be turmoil.
Look, if you're on Miles Bourne's team, everybody's looking out for #1. Then you've got Darkstate, an entire team looking out for one. That one tonight being Dion Lennox. And I can't stop thinking about the fire in the eyes of Lennox when we saw him encounter Obafemi backstage earlier tonight. That looks like a young man who is fearless and ready for battle.
It's time to look at tonight's NXT recap presented by Progressive. So I got to ask you this, Corey. Would you tag out if you were in this match? If you were Miles Bourne or Joe Hendry or Slater or Javon Evans, would you tag yourself out of this match?
I think it's a necessity in this environment. No one person is going to defeat all 4 members of Darkstate. I think you're going to be judicious. I think you're going to stay in there until your tank is absolutely empty, and then you got to keep your head on a swivel.
You take a look at Miles Bourne, who started this match off for his team.
Oh, nice!
Bourne taking down Saquon in a cover. Bourne, Hendry, Slater, Evans need each other to overcome a common enemy, as we saw at Gold Rush. That led us to this matchup, and power offense from Bourne into the cover to secure that spot, and he almost had the opportunity to make the selection for himself, and it finally is, well, still to come, obviously. Yes, Obafemi, Ricky Saints have to sign the contract for their NXT Championship match. That will happen here tonight, those 2 men under the same roof, and we did see a tag by the 4 on the far side of the ring.
Oh yeah, that should come as no surprise. The 4 on the other side, the 4 non-Darkstate superstars, they understand the assignment. They all understand what's at stake. They've all qualified to be in the Iron Survivor Challenge, but you want to get in there at the optimal position, and that varies depending on the superstar.
Well, then what number, if you were Joe Hendry, what number would you choose? Would you want to start up front?
Nice neck breaker. Cover here by Hendry.
Hendry looking to earn the right to choose his spot in a kick out.
Personally speaking, I kind of think the middle of the order is the sweet spot. The #3, the #4. That way you still have time to rack up some points, but you're not likely to exhaust yourself as if you began 1 or 2.
Well, and you're also saying that if you come in dead last in 5, you have the least amount of time.
Exactly. You could be playing catch-up, which is not a circumstance you want to find yourself in, no matter who you are.
But you also could be able to pick up the scraps of those that have competed for 15-plus minutes.
Potentially, you could sit there and wait for your chance and hope the other 4 destroy one another, and then you come in to pick the bones. Boom!
And that is it. Deadline Iron Survivor is all about endurance. It's about strategy. It's 25 minutes. It's my favorite event of the year as Leon Slater. It's been a big day for TNA. Couldn't imagine how bigger it'd get if Slater was the one who was victorious tonight and victorious on Saturday, as there's the young OG coming right in the ring, and we have seen Slater and we've seen Evans form quite the tandem. Big drop right into the spine with the stop, looking for the cover and a kick out at 1.
Can I be that guy and just say, I have had enough of hearing everyone talk about how Javon Evans is the future? Can we all just agree Javon Evans is the now? He's young, yes, but he is that dude. I know for a fact that Javon has caught the attention of Adam Pearce, of Nick Aldis, of superstars, and decision makers throughout WWE.
Well, he also caught the eye of Ricky Saints. We saw that interesting conversation that those 2 had, and Ricky Saints, of course, is the NXT champion.
Absolutely. I feel like so many people talk about someday this guy's going to be great. Right now, for my money, Javon's one of my favorite stars to watch on the roster.
Well, you know, we can talk about the next 20 years. The next 20 years is the future, and Javon Evans just having to kick out.
And think about this, knowing what I just said to be true, as most superstars begrudgingly will admit, if you're Cutler James or even Dion Lennox, imagine being that dude, that one guy who ruins the future, who shuts down Javon Evans and says, hey, it's my time now.
That certainly is a feather in the cap. And look, I go back to Dion Lennox. Is he right? Is he where he deserves to be? That's what he said to Obafemi right into his eyes earlier.
I believe if he's not there, he's going to be there very soon.
And it was John Cena who gave the stamp of approval to all those on Saturday, and Evans almost with the victory.
I remember my first time down here in NXT seeing Dion Lennox, and the guy was walking around with thick-rimmed glasses on. He was kind of unremarkable, lost in the shuffle. Oh, boom, along comes Darkstate, game change. Lennox now, boom, well on his way.
How about that for a game-changing moment in this match? What a spine buster.
Lennox well on his way to being who he's wanted to be. This Saturday, he could be the Iron Survivor and the new #1 contender to the top prize in NXT.
Cheap shot to Joe Hendry.
And I think that's been one of the biggest game changers, or the biggest changes in all 4 of these members of Dark State. The confidence, the chaos, it's popping off!
All 8 men in the ring, all trying to pick up a victory, all trying to stand tall and pick up momentum on our way to deadline. Mile just got ripped to the outside.
There's one half of the new tag team champion, Saquon
Eric
Sugars.
Sanders, and we're getting a first-hand look at, whoa!
Oh my God.
Look at the
what a recovery by Osiris.
Bam! Boom!
Oh man.
Unbelievable, and we're right in the center of it.
Dark State wrecking shop tonight.
Dark State is in control, and it could be Dion Lennox who controls Saturday in the Iron Survivor.
Listen up!
No one's safe.
Can you hear that?
Stakes on this main event matchup. Who will get to earn and pick their selection, their spot in the Iron Survivor Challenge match at Deadline this Saturday in San Antonio? Javon Evans is reaching out, and that's got to be the internal struggle for some. Shoulders are down. Could it be Evans in a kick out? If Dark State wins, Dion Lennox gets to choose his spot as a tag was made.
Here is Joe Hendry trying to make believers out of Dark State, bringing the fire, but hung up.
And as we're talking about this main event matchup, I got to get your thoughts on just how unique the Iron Survivor Challenge match is to someone like you.
Well, it's incredibly unique. It's the only type of match of its kind that it's points-based, not just the ability to score a pinfall, but you've got to do it multiple times. You could get stuck in the penalty box. There is arguably more strategy involved in the Iron Survivor Challenge than any other type of match in WWE.
It's a creative concept. It's the evolution of our industry. It's the back
cover by Lennox.
We are here in NXT. Lennox, and almost got the victory. And now I want to ask you this, because I said earlier, would you tag yourself in? Would you tag yourself out? They want to win, but they also know right now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this matchup, the deep water, so to speak. And you got to know they're chomping at the bit to tag back in another cover, and that means Evans, that means Bourne, that means Leon Slater. Got to wonder what they're gonna think. Is it about the match tonight, or is it about the strategy heading into Saturday?
Well, right now, as much strategy as Iron Survivor may require, they need to think only about one thing, and that thing is Dark State. That thing has been beating the hell out of all 4 of them practically since the opening bell. Dark State has dominated tonight.
And for Dark State, their thorn on their side has been Joe Hendry over the last several months. Just saying his name and he appears got under their skin, and I'm sure they're loving every second of beating down Joe Hendry. Into a cover goes Sugars, who was gifted from Dion Lennox one half of the NXT Tag Team titles, which was signed off by our general manager, Ava. As Joe Hendry, though, starting to fight back in his corner, crawling through, got about halfway, close, but not close enough.
Tremendous quickness displayed by Saquon Sugars, who makes the tag to Cutler James. We're gonna make a wish. No.
For a second, James misses the elbow. Sugars falls in front of us. Hendry's still crawling. Dion Lennox able to take one member down, but gets right back up, and now looking for a submission.
Guillotine cinched in tight. Lennox had the body lock applied as well, but look at the power of Joe Hendry.
Up and over with a massive suplex, and now he's never been closer to a tag. Sees a familiar face, and it's the youngest in charge. It's the TNA X Division champion. It's Leon Slater, and I know you've been excited to see him in these deep waters up close and personal.
A moment maker, a record breaker. Leon Slater, the genuine article, just connected. Osiris
has got the size, he's got the power, but there's the athleticism.
Uh-oh.
No.
Good night.
Spoke too soon, and Osiris into the cover to give Dion the selection, and a kick out at the last moment. Take another look. Feel the impact.
And what Dark State lack in experience, they more than compensate for in raw power and athleticism. That's what we just saw. They're not going to win a lot of matches on style points. They're just going to hit you in the mouth. They're going to stick to what they know, which is beat people up. Great counter by Slater.
And Slater continuing.
Saquon Sugars just about knocked me out of my seat, bumping into this desk.
And that's the impact reach now. There's the tag at Javon Evans. Evans now is a legal superstar for his team, and he's wiping out anything that moves. Super kick.
Look out! Holy cow! That was the fastest move I've been.
I haven't moved that fast since high school. Javon Evans flying through the air one more time.
Coast to coast. No one's safe from the young OG.
And Javon Evans right now, take a look too. He's not tagging out of the matchup. He's continuing to fly through. Big clothesline. Javon Evans feels it. Javon Evans tastes it. He wants that spot. He wants that chance to make that selection to call himself the Iron Survivor. Get you some Spro! Springboard cover. Countered for a moment, right back up. Connected! Evans got it. Looking for it twice from the tippy top. Cover into the count and
all three uncovered members of Dark State strike simultaneously. Uh-oh.
And now all the bodies in the ring, everything right now, Miles and Leon. They take out one man. Sugar's coming in, takes out Leon Slater. There's Joe Hendry showcasing his own power. A little bit of a JBL fallaway slam. 2-for-1 special. How about this action on NXT?
Dion Lennox sent crashing to the outside, but making sure to bring Hendry with him.
And now Dion and Joe Hendry.
Heavy artillery being unloaded.
You ain't kidding. Javon Evans right now charging in. Tag was made. Leon Slater.
Red dot!
Kick right into the center of the face. And right now, Leon to the top. Another tag was made. It's Miles Bourne who's legal. And there's that patented Swanton 450. Miles Bourne, though, he's the legal superstar. It's not Leon Slater. Miles Bourne with Osiris getting up. Osiris doesn't realize it. A little wink and a nod for a Bourne again. Miles into the cover. And just like that, Bourne gains the advantage.
Here are your winners, the team of Joe Hendry, Javon Evans, Leon Slater, and Miles Bourne!
It's what you said would happen, Corey. What would this team do? How would they team together? Who would take the shot? What number will Miles Bourne choose? Who will have an iron will? We'll find out Saturday, San Antonio at Deadline. Come on.